Hi, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Robin here again. I'm getting asked lots of questions this week about the Spanish Golden Visa. What's happening? What's not happening? Do I have time to still apply? So I thought I'd record this video, put that out there, and give you a little bit of feedback and information on what is happening. The bottom line is yes, there is still time to apply. So let's crack on. I'm going to go through an explainer, tell you what is happening, explain why it's still time to act, and run through the two commercial options that we've got. I really don't think residential options have time to act. And that's because if you're doing a residential property, you've got to find it, agree it, negotiate with the buyer, get your surveys done, et cetera, and engage a law firm. Residential property is sometimes a bit more complicated, as we all know, and it takes a little bit longer. So I don't think we have enough time left. So I'm going to run through the commercial options we've got. Okay, first of all, why Spain? Okay, hands up. I live here, so I'm a little bit biased, but great country, lots of culture, lots of things to do outdoors, obviously, lots of beaches. The interior is amazing, especially up in the north. You get amazing produce, etc. Good education system, good healthcare system, and it's voted as one of the best places to live on the Internations Index, shall we say. Pretty good weather most of the year. You've probably seen on the news, we've had some really massive storms of late, which is quite unusual, but frankly, we needed the rain. Perhaps not 50 centimeters in an hour or whatever happened in Valencia, and that was tragic. And there's good modern communications, everything from utilities like Wi-Fi, broadband, rail network's really good, road network's really good. The roads are well maintained. There's not tons of potholes like you see in some countries, especially in the UK at the moment. Okay, so Spanish Golden Visa. Been going for over 10 years, raised tons of money, extremely popular. I guess that's why you're watching this video. Key to it is you don't have to visit Spain except for your biometric appointment. And that's a really big money saver. You don't have to, come to Spain once a year or whatever it is. There's no need, just the once. Gives you access to Schengen area, gets you access to free visa travel throughout that area. And it's extremely quick and efficient, which is a bit unusual sometimes for Spain, to actually do the processing. And it's cheap to do the renewals, super cheap. It's really good. And if you're from an ex-Spanish colony, and there's a long list, places like the Philippines, Mexico, Dominican Republic, Cuba, come to mind, and there's a long list. Actually, once you come to live in Spain, you can apply for citizenship within 2 years. So that's really attractive. So what's going on? Okay, well, first of all, a couple of days ago, 14th of November, the Congress voted to approve the text of the organic law. The organic law is the one that's got the golden visa stuff inside it. And basically, the PSOE, which is the majority, well, actually, they're not a majority, they're the largest party, but they don't hold a majority, want to get rid of it. So on the 14th of November, Spain's Congress approved the text of the organic law. So that is the law that contains the golden visa, and the PSOE want to basically get rid of it. It's now gone to the Senate. So the Senate is like the upper house. It's a bit like the US. It's a bit like the Lords in the UK. They can approve it, block it. They can send it back. But at the end of the day, it will get approved. They might propose amendments to it, to the text, for example. So we don't really know. And the Senate is controlled by a different set of political parties. Okay, so what happens now? Well, first of all, it's obviously time to act. You need to get on the phone to me. You need to, book a meeting with myself. So if you're serious about doing this, now is the time to act. Now, the Senate is controlled by the PP, which is another political party. And like I said before, they can block it, they can change it, they can move it around. It's likely they will want to amend some of the text, and there may be a small delay, but really now the kind of train has left the station and the last passengers are jumping on. The PSOE, they want to close it completely. That's their plan. So we might see something like where they get rid of the residential side of it, and the PP would keep maybe the commercial side of it. So that attracts foreign direct investment. So they, basically need to agree between themselves. Now, we're likely to get a 3-month notification of what will happen on the 15th of December. That's when it will be published in the Gazette, which is where all the laws get published. So we've basically got this window now to get applications in for people, get them processed. So I've got 2 commercial options for you here that I recommend. Commercial option A is through a developer in Madrid. It's basically a commercial operation where you would buy into a unit, a rental property. The developer leases it back from you straight away. They pay you up front $150,000, and that's it. You have nothing else to do with it. They manage it, they lease it, they deal with all the repairs, the renewals. So it's a complete service. There's no hidden surprises, there's no hidden costs, and they're based in Madrid and Barcelona. This is extremely popular. From 3.8, and that's included all the fees and taxes to do the thing. So capital required is 381. That's inclusive of fees and taxes. There are obviously government renew fees and bits and pieces on top of that, but I can provide you with a full illustration of costs. This is how it works. 500,000, like I say, is that needs to be on the title deed. They give you 150,000 back, which is the yield for the next 10 years, or you can exit the investment after 5. So your total investment is 350,000, plus the fees and costs that I outlined earlier. And your Spanish residency will be granted within 60 days. It's actually less than that. And as long as we get your application in and we get that unique reference code, that's it, job done. And here's some example on screen of a few of the kind of pictures of some of the properties. Okay, after 10 years, what do you do? Well, first of all, you can keep the property and become a commercial landlord. The developer will manage it for you as well, so you don't have to get involved, but you just keep getting a good return. You can sell it on the open market, or the developer will buy it back for basically what you paid for it, which is the 350. So there's lots of options. And now if you want to exit before 10 years, obviously they prepaid you 10 years worth of rent, so they're going to want some of that back. But if you exit after kind of 5 or 6 years, once you get maybe your passports. So what do you do if you want to exit before 5 years? Maybe you've bought another property and you no longer need this investment, depending on what happens with the law changes. But basically, while you retain this investment, you retain your residency and you can be working towards your citizenship if that's your goal. So most people will hold on to these, but you can exit if you have a need to. And obviously, they've prepaid you upfront 150,000 euros. So they're going to want some of that back. But as you can see from the table on the screen there, it gives you an indication of the funds that you'd be returned. Okay, second option, I've called it option B. That's really creative of me, isn't it? San Blas Hotel in Madrid. Big developer, done this before many times. So again, you're buying into effectively a business, created jobs. It's got a commercial aspect to it. Again, it's a 500,000 level. It has to be that. Again, the developer prepays you 150,000 in rent. But here, because the way it's structured, there's a withholding tax. So you get a net 132,000 back. So the capital required is 392, a little bit higher. That's for a family of 2. I've included there kind of the government costs and everything else to give you an idea. Again, if your family is different sized, reach out to me and I'll give you a personalized illustration. Same strategy. You can exit, or you've got a 10-year buyback guarantee as well, or you can hold on to it. Again, you need to hold on to that to keep your residency. Perhaps in the future, if you no longer want that, it's no longer an objective, you can look to sell that. Again, no hidden fees, costs, or surprises. And it's a big, well-known developer with great track record and lots of previous experience in the kind of hospitality sector. Some pictures here. It's not fully built yet, so these are, artists' impressions, and 1 or 2 of them are from their other projects, actually. One on the top right is from one of their projects that they've already executed. All very nice. Actually, 2 on the bottom as well are from previous projects. So this is what you can expect in terms of quality. You also get to visit and use one of their facilities for a week every renewal period. So when you have to go or do any kind of renewals, you want to visit Spain, they'll allow you to stay for 7 days in one of their properties free of charge. Now, this is a quick rundown. Spain v. Portugal at the moment. I've done this a couple of times. So Spain right now, still open for business. You can do it through the residential route, but you've got to allow 10% for taxes and fees on top. Frankly, I don't think that's possible anymore. The risk is you buy a property and you don't get your residency. So commercial options are from 383. That's including fees and taxes. I showed you one there as 392 as well. So it's just slightly different proposition. You have to renew after 3 years. Costs are about €400. It's really not a great deal. No need to visit Spain on a regular basis. No kind of 1 week every 5 years or all that. You don't have to visit at all if you don't want, but you just need to visit for your biometric appointment. You get the Schengen travel, you get super quick processing. Portugal, big delays there at the moment. Don't get me wrong, I do advise on Portugal. Portugal's slightly different. It's more for people that are looking for a new passport to actually get citizenship. There are no residential options there at the moment. So, and you can't obviously live in the commercial options. It makes a lot of sense. And it's a 500,000 via an investment fund route. But similar ones where they give you a return on that in advance and structure it in such a way. Key to me is you have to visit Portugal. So there's a bit of cost there, 5 weeks in 5 years. So that can be expensive. You get the same Schengen travel, etc. around Europe. The difference, I guess, with Portugal is once you get your citizenship, you can live and work in any EU country. I guess that's the big difference. Okay, on screen here, how to get hold of me. You can obviously go on the YouTube channel. If you're on my comments section, there'll be a link there. Depending on how you're watching this, or maybe I've emailed it to you on a link, obviously just reply to the email. There's my phone number on there as well. I'm on WhatsApp. Just send me a message, ask me a question, whatever it takes. But please, if you're serious about this, the time to act is now. Okay? Have a great day. Take care. Bye-bye.